Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started here with Tuesday media availability for Traverse Family Head Football Coach Justin Wilcox. If you have a question, let us know in the chat. We'll go ahead and get started with Jeff Fernando. Go ahead, Jeff.
Good morning, Justin. Can we just start off by trying to get an update on your injuries, Ott, Sermon, Vadakani in particular?
Ott would be probable, and Sermon and Vadakani be day-to-day.
All right, thanks.
William says he knows who the quarterback is going to be, but he hasn't said whether he's not going to announce whether Rising is ready. How do you prepare for that if you don't quite know, or who do you expect to be the starter?
Well, we don't know who the starter is going to be because they haven't announced it. They've played with guys. We know Cam Rising is probably on the verge of coming back, and obviously he's got a lot of tape and is a heck of a player. So we'll do our best to prepare and understand that there could be some moving parts once the game starts. But they're going to run their offense. They're very physical. They run the ball. They got weapons at wide out, and we'll adjust as needed when the quarterback is identified.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Dunn from Right for California.
Good morning, Justin. We talked a little bit about fourth downs on Saturday night. Was there anything that you saw in Oregon State's fourth down tendencies that you guys had necessarily prepared for, and something that you can take for the rest of the season?
No, Thomas. Those are fourth. I think there was 5 of them, correct? And 4 of them were 4th and 1, and 1 was 4th and 3. So 4th and 1, you're going to get short yardage plays, and that's exactly what we got. Why did that happen? It's because they were on schedule the whole time. So we didn't get them behind the sticks enough to get them in a 4th and longer situation. And 4th and 1, and they hit us on the 4th and 3 on the goal line with a little play action pass, and the guy ran by us, and he threw it up and over to the tight end and completed it. So I wouldn't say there was anything glaring other than we were in way too many 4th and 1s. You got to find a way to win one of those.
Okay, we go to Michael Wagaman with Bear Insider.
Hi, Justin. A couple weeks ago, Coach Spavital was talking about the quarterbacks, and he said part of his frustration comes when they make the same mistake twice. I'm wondering, defensively, are you guys having some of those type of issues, or are there other things going on over there that are setting you guys back?
Yeah, you never want to see repetitive mistakes. We want to address any mistake that we see on tape in practice or in a game, and coach that technique better, and also put ownership. It's shared ownership between coaches and players on getting it corrected. And there's been a couple things that have come up where we've had maybe a player or two make repetitive mistakes, and so we've got to eliminate those things and then be more competitive. Physically, we're going to have to play more physical in the run game and knock the ball back. And then in the pass game, when we have a one-on-one situation, or if we're supposed to play a certain leverage, or if we got to, man a guy up, then we got to win a one-on-one, and we didn't do that the other night.
Okay, we'll go to Steve Kroner from the San Francisco Chronicle.
Justin, based off your understandable attitude about your defense after the game Saturday night, I would imagine the past 48 to 72 hours, you guys have done some self-scouting, so to speak. When you go through that, does the next step be A, change the scheme a little bit, B, change personnel, or C, what we're doing is correct, we just have to do it better?
Well, I think all the above. You're looking at, scheme decisions. Okay, what fronts are you playing versus, given personnel groups? What are we asking the guys to do? Are we a team that can move and stunt, or are we more of a team that needs to play solid and strike people? The individuals within the scheme would help dictate that. Man versus zone. Everybody, there's always those decisions, but at the end of the day, we can play zone, and we do play zone. We played a fair amount of zone the other night, played 3 deep, played split safety. At some point we have to, stop the run with whether we're in 4 down front, odd front, whether we're stunting or not stunting. We've got to affect the quarterback in the pass game, and then we have to make plays on the ball. And so if you're in man-to-man, that we're making a play in man-to-man, and if you're in zone, that we do a great job breaking on the ball, because it's not like you just play a zone coverage and all of a sudden everybody covers grass and think that the ball is going to be incomplete. So at some point, all that's taken into consideration. The scheme, what we're practicing, who's playing those spots, do we need to make some changes at those spots? And I would say all that's been considered.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else with the first round question for Coach? Okay, seeing none of those, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrado.
Justin, you referenced affecting the quarterback. Can you talk about your inability to pressure better and what you need to do there? Because it seems like the quarterback the other night had the time to do what he wanted.
Yeah, he did. And they do, they were throwing on, the obvious passing downs are great when you get them in obvious passing downs, third and longer. But even there, we played one in a cover two shell, and he threw a corner route on between the corner and the safety, and then we played the next one in man, and he hit the go ball on 3rd and 8, or I think it was. And so that was, the first one was a pressure, the second one was a man free. And so, everybody's involved in that. And I think if it was up to the coaches, we would just zero every down, but you got to take into consideration what the players are good at, where our strengths and weaknesses are. But obviously we have to do a better job affecting the quarterback. The best defenses will affect the quarterback, and we got to do a great job scheming, and then we have to also produce when we get one-on-one blocks. Just like the cover guys do. If you're getting one-on-one blocked as an edge rusher by a tight end or a tackle, or you're the 3 technique and you get the single on the guard because the center slides away, there's got to be some onus to win some one-on-ones. That's what top flight defenses will do that. And obviously we have to dial up some schemes and things like that. But it's pretty rare in college football to just get free runners to the quarterback in this era, because the other team, they have coaches too, and if they know what they're doing. So we gotta dive in and build great scheme, and then we also have to win some one-on-ones.
Do you anticipate making any lineup changes on defense?
It's possible.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Jake Curtis.
Mendoza did a good job at home, but is it a completely different test against Utah, at Utah?
Well, every week's a test. I think Fernando did a great job, and it'll be a great environment down there. It always is, and so a different kind of test, and I know Fernando will be excited for it.
Okay, we'll go back to Steve Kroner.
Yeah, just some kind of follow-up Jay's question. Have you noticed anything different about Fernando in the past couple of days since he had such a good performance? And can you notice anything in terms of his demeanor that's different or better than what it was the previous week or previous months?
Fernando's demeanor is always A+. I mean, if you ask anybody in the program, they would tell you that. So I don't notice anything different, because he has always got great energy. He's extremely positive. He loves playing. I mean, he loves playing the game. And so, no, I haven't noticed anything different.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go back to Jeff Ferrado.
Yeah, when you took a look at the tape, a second look at how he played, what things jumped out at you in terms of what you liked that he did, or maybe a couple of things that he will do better going forward?
Yeah, I think the decision making was very strong for the first time getting extensive action. He was doing the right things with the ball, whether it was the run game, the RPO, the run reads, and then I think where he can take the next step, and he would tell you the same, is accuracy on some of the throws. And I think that's where he could take another step. But he competed really hard. He brought great energy to the team. You felt it on the field, you felt it on the sideline, and that's who he is.
So where does this leave Sam and Ben, and how do you deal with two guys who've been used to playing, pretty much all the snaps and now are behind?
Well, I would say, just like any other player, we got to be focused on improvement and getting better. And Fernando did a great job, but we need to continue to develop Sam and Ben, because those guys, we might need those guys. And so, just as I said, every player on the team has responsibility to continue to work and improve.
A slightly different topic. Would you say that running the ball has been the consistent strength of your team, and what do you attribute that to?
So far, it has, and it'll be a test this week against these guys. I would attribute it to the O-line and Coach Blesh, what he's done with that group and our run schemes and how they're, some of the run schematics and, again, the decision making when we're making the right decisions at the quarterback and the running back position, where to put the ball. I think all of that has been noticeably better and improved, but we got to do it week in and week out, and we need to take another step this week, and it's going to be an incredible challenge.
Thank you.
Okay, we go back to Thomas with Radford, California.
Justin, as a defensive-minded head coach, you know that sacks are not the be-all, end-all of how a barometer of a defense, but through 3 games of conference play, the defense has no sacks registered and has given up a 69% completion percentage along with the 182 quarter passer rating. I mean, how do you attribute the struggles so far for a unit that performed so well during fall camp?
Well, yeah, we don't know who we are in fall camp. You think you're going against yourself, and sometimes that can give you a false sense one way or the other. Ultimately, it comes down to production in the games, and obviously we want to be able to get to the quarterback much better than we have. So do we have to do things differently? Yeah, we do, somehow, some way, whether it's calling different things, whether it's putting more pressure on certain people, whether it's again, I go back to you're going to have to win some one-on-ones, and all those things matter. It is frustrating. We thought we would perform better, but ultimately the tape is the resume, and that's where we are right now. So we've got to do something about it as a team, as a defense, and individually within the defense.
Thank you.